the deeper we care, the more so-called problems we begin to realize. The key word that I have in thinking about care is contradictions. The more we think about care, the more we realize that it is not such a simple matter. I can think of 3 different kinds of contradictions of care. The first is at the level of just human relations, especially all kinds of human relations have power relations embedded in it. Kind of the clearest example you can think has to do with the charitable motivations in our society. That is, of course, can be a very beautiful thing in our society, but at the same time, there are contradictions involved with people who are already more privileged, who therefore, over time, begin to develop this idea that the less fortunate, we should feel what? A little bit of pity. Another kind of contradiction is what I would call institutional kind of contradictions. Every time we think about companies or the government as an institution that exercises care, are there policies, are there institutional framework really in touch with the kinds of suffering, the kinds of needs of ordinary people, especially people who are already marginalized in our society? A lot of care work, so to speak, or care initiatives or policies turn out to be just box checking. Oftentimes, it's really about providing a very nice annual report to be filed for your organizations or for the government. The last kind of contradictions in care would be more around emotions or how people feel about care. Because as many feminists have reminded us that care can feel like a burden for both the person who wants to care and the person who are cared for. Sometimes we just don't know where the balance is. And without having a sense of how little or how much, the proportion, the gestures, the voice, the attitudes, we need to think about certain kind of contradictory emotions and feelings that are entangled in the act of care. But that doesn't mean that we become cynical about care because of all these contradictions.